Motivation galore for September. Hi, I'm Sherry. This is Lessons Learned. Thanks for coming back to my channel to see what's going on in my quilty life. Today's Monday quilt chat, so we're going to chat about a bunch of stuff, as I always do. And September is upon us, and we're going to call it Stash-Timber. Yeah, Stash-Timber. We're not going to buy any fabric in September. You may have to buy some notions or some supplies like that to finish some projects or to get some going out of your stash, because we're not buying any fabric in September. I hope you'll accept my challenge. This is what I'm going to do, and maybe it will help you too, to reduce some of that fabric buildup that you have around your sewing room. Maybe you've got bins that are overflowing like I do, and you need to use some of the stuff that you have. But some things just don't seem to have a purpose, do they? So we're going to have all kinds of projects this month related to using things only from your stash. So yeah, that's what today is about. So go get, at a minimum, a piece of paper and a writing implement, because you're going to be writing down some measurements. That's right, you're going to be writing down measurements today. And before we leave this video today, you're going to have a pattern on your paper to make something with. And it's not September yet, but I'm just getting you ready. You can wait till September 1st if you want to start these projects. No problem. Finish out what you got going for August and start fresh on September 1st, which is very soon. What's today? The 28th, I think. Let me look. Yes, the 28th, 28, 29, 30, 31. So for the next 4 days, get the things that you need to do these projects. Not fabric though, I'm sure you have fabric. Whatever supplies you need, get them in these next 4 days, because beginning September 1st, we're going to start using them. Okay, so hope you had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. I got my So Yeah subscription box block of the month done. I'll show you that on Friday. And I also got my Sew Sampler box pressed flowers block of the month done. I'll show you that on Friday. And I worked on my FPP heart project, making some more sashing out of the scraps. And I've used all my scraps, all but just a handful, but I need some more of the stone color to go in between what I have left. And then I'll probably have to cut some from the bigger scraps as well to get the amount that I need. But I came out with quite a few strips out of that. Probably, I think I have 4 that are at least about this big. So I don't need a whole lot more of that stripping there. And then I'll start to add another fabric or 2 in there to get that into the 4x4 scrap, or 4x4 quilt that I'm making with those 4 FPP hearts. And if you all are still working on your FPP hearts, continue on, get that project done as well. We'll be starting in October on another FPP project if you want to participate. And that is the, what is it, Carol Dones? What is her name? The FPP lady. The new book that she's got coming out is coming out late in September, so you'll be getting it right about the first part of October. So we'll talk about that again at the beginning of October, if not late September, once we get our books. Once I have my book in hand, I'm going to start planning. So let's see, is that all I did this weekend? I think that's what I did. Yeah, I think that's what I mainly worked on this weekend. And this little project I'm getting ready to show you that you can do with some fat quarters this coming month. So get out all your weird fat quarters. You know, those ones that there's just one of a kind, or you only have 2 that go together, or or maybe you just have one that just odd stuff, you're gonna need to get out 20. Get out 20 weird fat quarters. Preferably pairs that kind of go together, but they don't have to be. And as a matter of fact, you can just use 10 fat quarters and then just use a plain fabric for the inside of this object. So I'm going to show you because I'm all excited about it. Ernest, our friend Ernest, he had an idea of doing this, and I've seen this done, but these little notebooks here, which where I'm from, these aren't worth a dime because kids in school don't want them. They don't have a spiral to them. They don't lay flat. But you know what they're perfect for? Quilters and sewers. We need paper like this to grab and do quilt math on, do quilt planning, or maybe even journal your quilts. There are, I think, 100 pages here. Yes, there's 100 pages. So you could designate a couple of pages for each quilt project. And some people do this with an actual quilt planning type book, not the planner calendar that I have. That's different. That's more of like it's a calendar. It's a planner, day-by-day planner. But this is more of this would be more of like almost a journaling, but it keeps a permanent record of, you know, the items that you used in it, maybe the SKU numbers of the fabrics that you used in case you need to get more for another project at some point, or, you know, it's just a journal just to kind of keep a record of what you've been doing, and maybe some tips that you learned so that you can implement those in other projects that come up. So I think these would be great for quilters. So if you've got quilting and sewing friends, you can get one of these little $1 or less notebooks and make this gorgeous little cover for it. Now, talking about weird fabric, that's pizza. I don't know why I got a fat quarter with pizza on it. It must have been some mystery thing before I learned not to buy mystery things. But I did find a really cute accompanying fabric. This, I don't think that this went with that. It just happened, they just both happened to be in my red bin, and they went together really well. So here it is. Let me show you what we made here, what I made. Super simple, right? So basically you're just taking two pieces of fabric the same size as each other, and write this down. Here, I'll put this in the description box as well, but if you got something to write with and you want to get started, it will be, you need two pieces of fabric that are 10 3/4 by 20 3/4. 10.75 by 20.75. If I don't have any sort of batting or interfacing or anything in this, if you add a pellon fleece, that's about as heavy as I would go on this, I think. You're going to add, you're going to only put that on this size, not the entire length when you put this together. So in the middle of this, where you see the red, is where well, no, it's this side. This side, where you see the outside. That's the size of the batting or the pellon fleece you want to use. And that will be 9.5 by 14 3/4. 9.50 by 14.75. So that will be centered right in your long pieces, and you can go ahead and fuse that on if it's fusible, and continue on with the project. But I'm just going to tell you how to make this. All you do is cut out your 10 3/4 by 20 3/4 two pieces, put right sides together, leave an opening about in the middle where it would fold of about 3 inches, I would say. And then turn it wrong inside out, or right side out, I should say. At that point, you can insert some ribbons if you want. So in case you want to do like a marker ribbon for the inside. I did not do that on this one, but I'm going to do that on my next one. And then all you have to do is fold these over. Let me see what that is. I don't have that written down. Fold each end over 2 1/4 inches. So each of these are 2 1/4 inches. Once you've got those ironed down, just take 1/8 of an inch from the edge top stitch all the way around this outside. And then that will secure your flaps. See, they're sewn. And it'll give it a nice finished edge. My suggestion is also, if you are going to use batting scraps, which by all means feel free, you might want to add just another 1/4 inch to all your measurements, because batting is a little bit heavier than the pellon fleece, fusible fleece, or interfacing, any type of interfacing you want to use. It's going to be, the batting is going to be thicker. So I would suggest, yeah, add a 1/4 inch, and that should be enough. But by the fact that you're using a 9 1/2 inch by 14 3/4 inch piece of batting, which is this size right here, you're not going to have to fold it into the flap. So the flap is not going to be bulky. The flap will still be just your 2 fabrics here, okay? And I can think of all kinds of things you could do to embellish this. Not only your ribbons that you could put, or a ribbon, you could put a little snap closure here of some kind, a little tab with a snap. Just, of course, you would only want to do that on the inside here, not all the way through. Or a Velcro snap type thing with your tab. You people who have embroidery machines, you can make it say quilting journal or sewing journal or my journal. You could even put the year on it. You could embellish it with rhinestones and all kinds of things. Even your little string that you use for marking, you could put some little beads on the bottom of it, some little glass beads or some wooden beads, something fun. So these will make great gifts. So go somewhere and get those worthless little composition books that aren't so worthless to us, and make one of these for all your friends. And you'll have a ready gift there already in September for all those people. And so, yeah, do that. I'll put this in the description box, and maybe with some little, brief explanation of how to make it. And if not, just take those measurements and what I just said and just run with it. Just keep replaying this video until you figure it out. It's not hard. Now, you will wind up with some decent scraps out of these if you use 2 different ones. 1 fat quarter will not make 1, and 2 fat quarters does not yield enough to make a second one. So you're going to have some decent scraps for your scrap bin, and then we'll be doing stuff with scraps eventually, so don't worry about the scraps. We all need some scraps now and again, but at least you're getting these out of your inventory and using them for something, and getting it into the hands of somebody else that you want to gift something to. Isn't that a great idea? Thanks, Ernest. You're helping me along here with my little corny ideas. No, they're not corny. We all love this stuff, don't we? So get you 10 of those books, just 10 notebooks, $10, right? 20 fat quarters, fusible pellon, rotary cutter, sewing machine, what else? Thread, yeah, just the basics, Another thing, are you all one of these people like myself and Pat Sloan who keep selvages? Yeah, you are? Is yours overflowing? Well, let's get our selvages out. Get some plain fabric or some heavy pellon that's not fusible, maybe like just a sew-in type of fusible you could use, or a little bit heavy though, not the real flimsy stuff. Or I'm using muslin. I may have showed this to you the other day, I don't know. But anyway, I just started sewing. So I'm going to have a project later on for this. So stay tuned. If you want something in between what you're doing this month, pull out your selvages and just sew those suckers down on something. This is a half a yard, a little bit more than a half a yard, I think, maybe about 20 inches. So, you know, your average selvage is about that long. So we will be doing something with this. So get ready. That'll take a little time to do, not a ton of time, but we'll be doing something with that. Did you write that down? Write that down. Sew down your selvages. Okay, this month, I want you to get one of those quilt projects out that you haven't started yet. You've got this lovely fabric and you even have a pattern ready for it. You're going to get that down September 1st and start cutting fabric. Here's what I'm doing. I have this Primitive Gatherings, and this is called something else gatherings, rustic gatherings. It's orange and black and cream and charcoal, lots of different shades of gray as well. So this is what I'm going to use to make this. It's called Harvest Square Dance. This is a pattern from Annie's Quilt Designs. You can go online and download that pattern for, I want to say $9, $8, something like that. If you're okay with downloading and printing, which I had no problem with, it's there. I will put this one in particular in the description box, the link for you to actually download it right off of the description box if you want. And I am an affiliate with Annie's. So if you want to help support me, buy this pattern. I thought it was kind of cool. It's a little more negative space than I'm used to for quilts, but I'm going to do it. And I've got plenty of fabric here that will work for that negative space, I believe. I might even use this. That might be fun. There's extra of that. I think I got at least yard pieces, if not 2 yard pieces. So this was yardage that I got from So Yeah off of this line. I didn't buy the bundle or the 1 yard all. I just got what I wanted out of it. So there's that. That needs to start being cut up on the 1st. Now, what else? I told you it'd be motivation galore. So, panels. I've had a lot of you ask me recently, could you do some tutorials or something on panels? And I understand why, because we all have a box full of panels, don't we? We need to get those panels out, and those make great gifts too. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and I'm going to give you the measurements of my panels in case you have panels of this very same size. They vary a little bit, panels do, but with each one I'm going to give you an idea of what to do with it, along with some accompanying fabric. So here's the first one. Now this may not be the first one that I do. We'll just see, it might be. I have this panel. It's a Michael Miller, and it's called Mon Ami. Mon Ami, Mon Ami. I doubt you can find that anywhere, but maybe on Etsy if you want this exact panel. But the idea is to use the panels you have. So go get something of this same size. This one, write this down, the Roses panel, is 23.5 by 44. So 23.5 times by 44. Here's what it looks like. We're going to do something with this, and I'm going to show you what in the world you're supposed to do with these things on each end, because a lot of times people just leave them on there. You can just leave it on there like that, treat it like a block, like a border, a block border. You could, but I think there's something more fun we could do with this. So if you've got a panel that has extra stuff on it, you're going to want to watch that video. These will be Wednesday videos. I have 4, at least 4. How many Wednesdays are there in September? Let me look. There are 4. So I have 4 Wednesday videos that will be a different panel option each week. So that one is your roses one, 23.5 by 44. This one is a summer panel. It says on it Sweet Summer. This is the top, and the bottom continues with the watermelon and the juicy stuff. Now this one already has kind of a faux border on it, and you know, perfectly fine just to sew this up as it is, not even add a border. If you wanted, you could, if you have this particular one. I happen to have some matching yardage for it. I have 3 fat quarter, those might be half yards, and a 1 yard. I think I wanted this for maybe the backing or the binding or something, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna do something creative with this panel. This panel is 23.5 by 42, 23.5 by 42. So if you have a panel that is that size, I'll have an idea for you. Also, I wanted to mention that I was measuring from the uncut border. So if your panels have like this little yellow, that's gonna go. So what I measured was from the aqua over, and then the same thing all the way around. So, you know, they put that little extra fabric in between so that there's a place to cut, but it's never really intended to be used as part of the project. I suppose you could, but it'd be awfully thin, wouldn't it? And sometimes you get them cut and they're crooked, or you get you get them in a scrap bag or something and they're cut crooked on that line, and you can't end up using it. Okay, so there's that one. The other one is this National Park one. Do you have a National Park one? Oh, these feel so good. Who makes this? It almost feels like, what do you call it? Art gallery. Riley Blake. Feels so soft. So I have this National Park panel, okay? This is the Great Smoky Mountains. It's a hunker. It's big. Great Smoky Mountains, one of my most favorite places on the entire earth. Let's see, here's the top. The top doesn't really have much on it. Most of it's on the bottom part here. Isn't that beautiful? Love this. I also have, again, some accompanying fabric, some coordinates. I have this little footprint one. I have this brown trail one. Looks like trails. And then another mountain one. And then I also pulled a grunge to match this cream that's around the edge. So if you look real close, the cream, the edge is actually the white. So right up to that cream. Now I'm going to take, no I didn't, I measured it right. I'm going to take it as 36.5 by 44, and that is at the edge of the cream. See there again, that white, you could never use that. So we're going to cut it right at the cream and then start adding our borders to it. So this one's 36.5 by 44, or if you have another panel that is that size, I will have some exact measurements for you for a border for it. So that will be one. Are you getting exhausted? We're going to be so busy. But look, our stack is going to go down. Our stash timber. Okay, here's another one. I've had this one for a while. It is Stonehenge Sun Valley 2 by Northcott. Maybe you have this one. That's pretty, isn't it? Gorgeous. It's kind of southwesty looking. 28 inches by 44. So if you have this panel or a panel that is 28 by 44, I will have something for you on this one. And I did find that I had a good bit of yardage to match it. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Why have I been hanging on to this? This is probably 1, 2, 3, I think I have 4 yards here. So I can do something around it. I may add something else too to go between. I don't know. And the back. Yeah. That'd be great, wouldn't it? This one doesn't need much, does it? Doesn't need anything real heavy added to it. Beautiful. Okay. So that, folks, are our 4 Wednesday projects in September. I'll have measurements for you for the embellishments that we will put around it, the borders and such. And they won't just be plain borders. There might be some plain borders added. There's going to be something with some flair to it as well. So there we have it. Plus all the little stuff in between. Probably on the Monday videos. I'm sorry, I ate too much for dinner. This is Sunday night. Probably on the Monday videos, if I haven't said this already, that's when I'll show you the smaller projects and tell you how to do them. And if I have video clips or something to put in for you to see, those I'll throw those in there. What else? I'm not going to get to my calendar today. We're just going to have to, you're just going to have to trust that I planned my week out this week. Stuff I've gotten in. Let me show you. Baltazar's Bazaar is about to kill us, isn't it? I got some charm packs in. I got 2 of these Timber by Sweetwater, which is kind of a neutrally palette. Didn't show that very good, did I? And then I got 2 Cave ones, which are, it's called Darker, February 23. I got 2 of these. And I got a Clothworks called Margot. This is pretty. I like it. I like to make a patchwork bag or something out of that. Got that. And then I've got some yardage. When he was doing the colors, like, you know, they would do orange and red or purple and red or something like that. I don't know. I got some yardage here. This looks like maybe 3 yards of this. It's got the birds with the names on it. This is called Botanicals. And I have some other fabric that goes with that. And then here's another little Southwest print that might make a good background or accent fabric for something. This is yardage. It's Figo. And it's called Boccaccini Meadows. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Boccaccini Meadows. But it's those little Southwesty looking things. I got a teal. Looks more blue on the screen. Over here it looks more mint. This is Benartex Flower Festival 2. Got a big hunk of that. Remember I told you I'm buying big hunks now if I'm buying anything. I'm not buying all those stupid little fat quarters anymore. Fat quarter bundle I'm not against. But just these little bundles of fat quarters, no, 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 no. I don't care if they are $10 or less. I don't need that in my life. Let's see. Maywood Studio. Marty Mitchell. Oh, Adelaide. Thought this would make a good blender background. There's 2 or 3 yards on there. And then another aqua. Well, this was more aqua than that other one. I don't know why this is coming off blue. It's more green. It's definitely aqua. This is aqua. This one is... Oh, I love the selvage on this. Look at the selvage. It's lanai. It's lanai. I don't know what the exact name of the company is. Maywood Lanai. It's that Hawaiian fabric, that real soft colored Hawaiian fabric they've been selling lately. And then I got a Riley Blake bolt. And this time I got a batik. And look at that richness there. Does not that make your mouth water? So this is a bunch of yardage because I love this color. And I have a lot of stuff in my head that I want to use this for. So that's what I've gotten so far. I still have to get a couple more things. I think actually they come today, some of those things. So hopefully we can get some of this stash whittled down so that we can justify all these purchases we made in August and throughout the year that we've made. So I think that's enough for today. I'm tired already just talking about it. One more thing, hold on. You got jelly rolls? September 26th, a Saturday, is National Jelly Roll Day, or World Jelly Roll Day, I don't know which. I'm going to make something with this right here, this jelly roll. I think I have 2 of these, but I'm going to find a pattern to use one of them, and I will link you some free jelly roll patterns soon before that day. So if you have any jelly rolls you have, or if you already have jelly roll patterns in mind, get those out and ready, because that day we're going to sew all day on this jelly roll. So we're going to come out with a quilt top on that day, 26th, I believe. Let me look. It ain't the 26th, because it's not the 26th. It's the 23rd, I think. I'll keep you posted on that, but I think it's the 23rd. So lots and lots and lots of stuff this month. We're not going to buy any fabric. We've got plenty. And we're going to do this stuff. Get those panels, those pesky panels out that you don't know what to do with. Get those out, and I'll give you some ideas, and we'll get a bunch of them done this month. Okay, so you've already got one project ready to go with the notebook cover, so get going on that. The first is coming, and it's coming on Friday. So I'll be preaching to you again on Friday when you see me here showing everybody's finishes. So get ready, just get ready. Write some stuff down, the stuff that we've written down. Get your stuff together, and we'll get going on our projects for Stashtember. All right, I hope you found a lot of motivation today. I know I feel really psyched up and motivated. And do you like my new little sign? Isn't that cute? I had that made at the print shop. I thought, look at there, I need my name behind me. Everybody has their name behind them on their channels, and I need that too. So my little August block, I didn't point that out the other week. We're almost to the end of August. I'm just now showing you that. I think I'm going to have to move my little butterfly over or something. I need more stuff on my wall, don't I? It's going to fill up. My walls are going to fill up. They're already really full. But I was trying to keep this kind of clean and neat back here, but I just don't think that's me. I think I'll be adding some more stuff back there. All right, so let's get going. And I will see you back here on Wednesday for a panel video. Will it be? No, it'll be something else, because this is August. Let's just keep it a secret. We'll make it a surprise. No telling what's going on this Wednesday. Maybe I'll make a video on that little notebook cover, just so we have one in the queue. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.